From the northern border of Lake Erie to the southern border of rolling Hocking Hills and the Ohio River, and all the rich farmland in between, Ohio residents reside in a state with many diverse communities: urban communities, rural communities, suburban communities. But no matter which community they call home, residents are facing increasing harms to their communities from corporate activities such as fracking, injection of toxic waste, water withdrawals, factory farming, pipelines, and other industrial infrastructure. These projects threaten the health of the people, the environment of the community, and ultimately the future of the community.
Voices of the community are not being heard in issues that are directly affecting us, especially when industry is coming in and threatening our air, soil, and water. We are not being consulted. Decisions are being made that directly affect us, and we have no voice in these decisions. The citizens are shocked when they're alerting elected officials and they are not being paid any attention to. They are being ignored. It seems that these electeds and appointeds are putting corporate profit over public health and safety, that they're serving the corporation's wishes, and they're ignoring the public. So this is a large problem. Our rights are being violated.
Residents are realizing that when they attempt to stop these harmful projects from coming into their communities and neighborhoods, that their government officials working with industry have actually set up an elaborate system of law and regulations that simply allow residents to vent their concerns. But in the end, the government issues the permits anyway, legalizing the corporate harm in their community. They are realizing that our current structure of law doesn't allow them to say no to unwanted corporate projects. Why should corporations have more rights than the people and environment of the community? Our Ohio Constitution, Article 1, Section 2, declares that all political power is inherent in the people. Government is instituted for their equal protection and benefit, and that they have the right to alter, reform, or abolish the same whenever they may deem it necessary. That right of local community self-government and the primacy of general rights over and above special privileges is deeply rooted in our nation's traditions, secured by the history of the founding of the United States, found in the U.S. Constitution, the Ohio Constitution, and in the principle that government owes its existence to and derives its power exclusively from the community that creates it, as affirmed in the Declaration of Independence. In addition, the Declaration of Independence makes clear that the foundation upon which governments are established is the securing and protection of inherent rights belonging to every member of the community. Article 1, Section 1 of the Ohio Constitution incorporates this doctrine, declaring that all men are by nature free and independent and have certain inalienable rights, among which are those of enjoying and defending life and liberty, acquiring, possessing, and protecting property, and seeking and obtaining happiness and safety.
If we want something done in our community, we have to actually beg the electeds to do it for us. Unfortunately, they don't always think it's their job to represent the will of the people. Sometimes they let the city attorney tell them what to do. And the attorney doesn't represent the people, but the corporate municipality. The electeds think they work for the state rather than for the people. We now realize that we're not going to get anywhere going to our state legislature or to our congressional representatives. Corporate power and legal privileges drowned out the voice of the people in the community. We've got to change that. We've got to empower residents of the community to protect themselves from the horrific health problems that are growing day by day and year by year. This is what community rights is all about.
I want a safe environment where my community is safe for not only myself, but my grandchildren and my great-grandchildren and everybody that's in the community has a right to say, no, this is our movement and it's our time. As long as I have breath in my body, I'm going to continue to fight for the right to have clean air, clean water, and earthquake-free environment. We want jobs, but we also want jobs that are safe. We don't want to work a job for 6 months and then take 50 years to undo the harm that the job has did to us. So that's why I'm fighting for this, the Community Bill of Rights, and I will continue to fight for the Community Bill of Rights as long as I have breath in my body, not just for myself, but for my grandkids, my great-grandkids, as well as my community.
Hundreds of towns and cities across the country are now reaching out and using the platform of community rights to make systemic change. Community rights gives the power back to the people of the community to make the decisions about those things impacting their community, including the environment, economy, food, and energy. How can we even begin to create a sustainable future if we cannot stop the unsustainable activities from happening? Community rights offers a strategy that does not rely on politicians or on a system of law that is purposely and preemptively stacked against communities. Instead, it relies on normal people like you and me. We need citizens to get involved and stop relying on government and government agencies to protect us because they are not protecting us. We need to protect us.
Like these residents, many people across Ohio are realizing that to make the necessary changes and to realize the future that they envision for their communities, it is going to take people working hard. In Ohio, we already have 5 communities that have passed bills of rights, and more residents are working every day to guarantee that the communities and nature's rights become a reality in their hometown using the community rights strategy. These citizens, by utilizing direct democracy, have effectively passed local laws prohibiting gas and oil drilling, injection of toxic waste, and water withdrawals to be used in the fracking process. Has it been easy? No, but nothing worth fighting for ever is. People are realizing they need to directly challenge the unjust system that is in place, and that no matter the outcome of an individual community's battle, the people will continue to push for their inalienable rights, just as prior people in the women's movements and civil rights movements did. In 2013, residents from across the state gathered in Columbus to form the Ohio Community Rights Network. These Ohio residents seated a board of directors and drafted and signed the Columbus Declaration. The mission of the Ohio Community Rights Network is to establish a network of communities working to advance, secure, and protect the inalienable rights of all Ohioans to democratic local self-governance, to sustainable food, energy and economic systems, and the rights of nature to exist and flourish throughout Ohio. As the Community Rights Network movement grows and pushes ever higher, it will take resources. It will not only take people willing to go door to door getting petition signatures and educating their neighbors, but funds to print up information and hold community events. Community rights will empower the people to shape the future of their communities and eventually our state. We really can be the change we want to see. Please help us today by going to our website at www.ohcommunityrights.org and signing up to help make the change and making a donation to grow this people's movement in Ohio. Become part of the solution. Future Ohio generations will be grateful that you did.